the way we interact, the way we behave is changing.
Low-key Salah celebrations continue across Nigeria as correspondent examines public holiday with a difference. Second UBA Africa Conversation offers leaders opportunity to look inwards to grow economies after impact of coronavirus pandemic.
No face masks, no voting.
INEC releases 10-point guidelines co-opting COVID-19 protocols for Edo and Ondo governorship elections. A warm welcome to tonight's network news on NTA. I am Jumma Yusuf. Barka da Sallah. Dotun Ogunyami will be joining me from Lagos. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the global update of COVID-19 as over 100,000 cases of COVID-19 confirmed on the African continent as Americas flocked to beaches and lakes for Memorial Day weekend, flouting restriction order imposed to tackle the coronavirus pandemic. Let's join Uche Okochukwu for an update on the global pandemic.
According to the figure released by the African Center for Disease Control, total confirmed coronavirus cases on the continent now stands at 110,900, recoveries 44,500, and confirmed coronavirus deaths is 3,300. Nigeria recorded 313 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. A breakdown indicates that Lagos has 148 cases, 36 in the Federal Capital Territory, 27 in Rivers, 19 in Edo. And below the ladder, we have 3 each in Akwa Ibom and Bayelsa, Niger 2 and Anambra 1, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 7,839, 2,263 discharged with 226 deaths. Elsewhere, the U.S. has more coronavirus cases than anywhere in the world. It has over 1.6 million known infections and is nearing 100,000 deaths linked to the virus. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe lifted a coronavirus state of emergency in Tokyo and 4 other remaining areas on Monday. India has restarted domestic air travel as the country recorded its highest daily total of 7,000 new COVID-19 infections. Malaysia reported 172 new coronavirus cases on Monday, most of them foreigners held at immigration depots, and taking the total number of infections in the country to 7,417. The Philippines Health Ministry on Monday reported 5 additional novel coronavirus deaths and 284 more infections. Cases of the coronavirus in Russia climbed to 353,427. It said the number of fatalities had risen by 92 overnight, taking the overall nationwide death toll from the virus to 3,633. And globally, Worldometer indicates the number of coronavirus cases has risen to 5,543,125, 347,439 deaths, and 2,323,068 have recovered as at 6 p.m. local time. Uche Ogochukwu, NTA News.
Training to enhance capacity of health workers who are on the front line in the fight against COVID-19 has continued in Taraba State. This time, the Center for Initiative and Development, in collaboration with the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, took the capacity building to the doorsteps of Federal Medical Center Jalingo. Joseph Austin completes the report.
Very important to us because we are the healthcare providers, and it's a timely training for us to step it outside to see how we can manage this COVID-19 in our community.
And help to minimize the transmission from human to human, and as well help the affected persons to know what is important to do at the time of maybe quarantine.
Our passion is to ensure that our frontline healthcare workers are first of all protected through the knowledge they have on personal protective equipment and infection prevention control, and they have the necessary skills and competencies, knowledge on how to manage these patients when they come through the doors and the gates of our hospitals.
This 5 weeks workshop is to build capacity of health workers saddled with the responsibility of managing COVID-19 patients without jeopardizing personal health. The training, according to the organizers, is going on in 7 states, including Adamawa, Bauchi, Benue, Gombe, Nasarawa, Yobe, and Taraba State. Over 3,000 persons are expected to benefit from the training. In Jalingo, Joseph Sound Otsen, NTA News.
Meanwhile, as part of efforts to cushion the economic effects occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, has distributed palliatives to 1,000 households in Alo, Idemili South local government area of Anambra State. Ekene Ndulwe has details.
For 52-year-old Florence, who is a caterer, and 60-year-old Benjamin, who is an interstate driver, business has not been good, and the palliative will bring immediate succor to their various families.
Like me, I'm doing cooking, so I'm not doing since that time. But we stay for house, doing nothing.
That I will take it to feed my family and take it to procure myself for the health.
Some part of it for food, and some part I will use it to settle the debt I owe.
A total of 1,000 households in Alo got 5,000 naira each with bags of rice and noodles from Dr. Chris Ngige Foundation. The minister, who is also the founder of the foundation, encouraged the people to abide by the WHO protocols to remain safe from the COVID-19 disease.
That's why we are saying everybody to observe the protocol. You give yourself distance in such function like this.
The foundation also donated a sum of 5 million naira to the church community in Alo for onward distribution to the indigent members of the community, with a promise to also reach out to other communities in Anambra State. From Alo, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
Members of the Federal Executive Council congratulates President Buhari, the Vice President, and all Nigerians on the occasion of the Eid celebrations at the end of the holy month of Ramadan. A statement by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, members of the Federal Executive Council, while praying God to accept the supplications during the fast at a time the world is facing the challenges posed by the novel coronavirus, urged Nigerians to observe COVID-19 guidelines even after the fast. The council members encourage Nigerians not to cease in their prayers as economies of the world continue to face the disruption from the coronavirus. We now turn attention to the celebration of the festive period, as Eid al-Fitr public holidays are normally characterized by outdoor activities with families catching fun and picnicking. But the coronavirus has put a halt to that. Alika Opanachi Arua, on a roving assignment in Abuja, reports that the airy silence was clear without the usual hustle and bustle.
This will be an Eid to be remembered for a long time to come, as the coronavirus pandemic has tempered with the usual celebration of one of the most important celebrations in the Muslim calendar after the Ramadan fast. Reminiscing about the 2019 Eid al-Fitr celebration brings to mind the fun and amusement at various parks and public places in Abuja. But today these parks are empty, as children look with longing through their locked gates and wished they could go in and play as usual.
Today, Salah, the place is so boring and everywhere is locked.
Chairman, National Interest Forum, Shitu Kebri Muhammad, says the day after Salah is when the family usually go out to visit friends and family members. But he said making the most out of the situation is the best way to look ahead, which is why his family will be marking the day with a picnic within the confines of the family garden.
This established norm is for us to be careful to fight the COVID-19. We can't fight it physically because it's a war that has made us, and we must join hands as country, as people, as family to fight the menace.
The pandemic has not only impacted negatively on the social life of citizens, but also on economic activities, as many Muslim traders are already back to the business stance in the marketplace.
I do Salah, but the following days I come market. We thank God they are alive.
As many recall with mixed feelings, the Salah celebration of last year and comparing it with that of this year, they appeal to the government to intensify efforts in eradicating the pandemic from Nigeria. In Abuja, Alika Wanachi, Aroa, NTA News.
We are not done with the mood of Salah celebration, as Ismail Musa reports on Eid al-Fitr with a difference.
There is a philosophy that says what is constant in life is change. So, when the 2020 Eid al-Fitr festive period came with the coronavirus social distance protocol, the public had no choice than to embrace, adapt to stem the spread of the disease.
By virtue of this COVID-19, the way we do things, the way we interact, the way we behave is changing.
We just manage and follow the instruction that NCDC gave us, that we should stay at home, we should stay safe. All of us are at home with our children.
Last year, everybody happy, celebrate, moving around, everywhere, eating. But this time around, to even give neighbor food is a problem.
The street is deserted. Most parks and gardens closed for business. But just like the street light that must continue to work, the Salah festive period must continue.
We cook, we eat, we even chat with my children at home.
We thank God we are alive, okay? No sickness, no problem, but we are alive. But this staying at home has disturbed our celebration a bit.
And now, we wouldn't have been sitting down at all, we would have been at the parks or gardens with loved ones and family.
The resounding message for the public is strict adherence to NCDC guidelines of social distancing, regular hand washing, use of hand sanitizers, and face masks. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
More on the Eid al-Fitr celebration, as some Muslims and Christian leaders in Plateau State say this year's Ramadan fast came with lessons of sincerity, honesty, selflessness and sacrifice to God and humanity. This was while felicitating with the Muslims on the occasion of the Eid al-Fitr celebration. Abdul Wahab Babankanti has the report.
In view of the COVID-19 pandemic, they challenged Muslims to observe all laid-down safety protocols and guidelines issued by the authorities with a view to contain the spread of the disease in the country. For that, they urge Muslims, as they celebrate Eid al-Fitr, to continue to be law-abiding, have sober reflection, and exhibit the lessons learned during the period of Ramadan fast.
We pray that may the Almighty God accept our prayers and get us out from this pandemic that is ravaging the whole world.
The only way out of this thing is for everybody, and whoever you are. We have got to abide by the directives of what the authorities have asked us to do.
I would want to congratulate the Muslim Ummah for witnessing yet another Salah, and then appeal to them to please abide by the rules given by NCDC.
They salute the commitment of all leaders in enlightening their followers on various issues during the months, urging them to maintain the tempo even beyond the period of Ramadan.
Our priority as human beings today is love. Show love to one another. And if we have love, we can coexist with other people who have different views from ours.
They equally call for ceaseless and fervent prayers for the nation against the spread of COVID-19. In Jos, Abdul Hababankanti, NTA News.
Still in the spirit of the Eid al-Fitr, Muslim faithful are expected to crown their month-long Ramadan fast with issuance of Zakat al-Fitr to the needy. In this special report, Aliu Tijani looks at what this ritual is, how it is done, whom is it for, and when should it be done.
Zakat is an Arabic connotation referring to an act of worship that purifies by helping the poor or needy in society. It is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and therefore compulsory. In addition to charity to the poor on wealth or income, it's Zakat al-Fitr for the breaking of fast after successful completion in the prescribed period of 30 or 29 days. Every Muslim is not exempted as long as there is the means to discharge the religious obligation. But who then qualifies to get?
If you take it out, you are going to give first to your neighbors who are very close to you.
You are going to give zakat a person who is in need.
Items to be given out as zakat al-fitr are food permissible for consumption, usually within a community of Muslims, like rice, maize, millet and other grains.
The significance of this zakat is to spread food security in the day of Eid, so that each and every Muslim will have the 3 square meals in that day that will make him happy.
To maintain the relationship and the brotherhood among the society.
Findings show zakat is becoming more organized in Nigeria as administrators make concerted efforts to ensure it benefits stakeholders in society. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani Mohammed, NTA News.
You are watching NTA Network News. We'll pause now for some messages. More reports after the break. Do stay.
Data plan. All existing Glow customers now enjoy up to 20% more data. Dial *777# to choose a plan. Glow Unlimited.
We understand that it's not just about buying a dress. Being able to pay your bills.
The TV is showing cartoons.
But I just paid for it.
Promise.
I promise.
Making that quick stop at the shop, or sending some money home for the holidays.
We just received the money right now.
You're welcome, Mom. I told you I would send it.
It's about the 90,000 businesses across 13 countries in Africa who trust us to keep their promises. It's knowing that anywhere, anytime, anyway, you can always pay. Flutterwave, simplifying payments for endless possibilities.
I'm on top of Africa.
Anybody for a lolly to make you jolly? This is history unfolding.
The 20th century is Africa's.
We are going through stress presently in FCT as a result of the fight against coronavirus, and everyone is doing his or her best in this fight.
We are particularly indebted to our FCT health care providers, essential workers, first responders, who indeed are at the top of the ladder.
Thank you.
We love you.
Your heroes.
You walk around the clock.
We appreciate you a lot.
You are awesome.
Keep it up, guys.
You are strong.
Eshikupo. Dalu.
Mongoli, we can never ignore you.
You light up our world.
You are magnanimous.
You are courageous.
You are amazing.
You are awesome.
God bless you all.
These are interesting times. The world in turmoil. Nations taken unawares. Countries are on lockdown and the global economy facing a recession as the government of Nigeria confronts the triple challenge of health, economic and financial crisis arising from COVID-19. However, wherever we Nigerians find ourselves, at home or abroad, we adapt, survive and thrive. The world can attest to the resilience, creativity, passion and dynamism of the Nigerian spirit. We overcame Ebola and we will overcome COVID-19. The Central Bank of Nigeria demonstrates this resilience and unwavering passion in the Nigerian economy to weather the storm, providing various channels and programs to support the economy for our nation to emerge stronger. In support of the policy direction of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to revitalize the economy and preserve the livelihoods of Nigerian workers and businesses, the CBN is galvanizing critical stakeholders to sustain the administration's fight against COVID-19 by providing credit support for healthcare development, energizing small and medium businesses, stimulating local manufacturing and services across commercially strategic sectors to create more jobs, wealth opportunities, and ensure financial system stability. The bank is also prioritizing the provision of forex to boost importation of machinery and critical raw materials needed to drive a self-sufficient economy. We invite all economically active Nigerians to get on board and let's put the green back in agriculture. Get our industries working, increase our local capacity to drive exports and grow Nigeria together. Indeed, this shall be our finest hour as we shall surprise and delight the world by steering our ship back to the straits of glory. Nigerians, dynamic, resilient, passionate. This message is from the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Thanks for rejoining us. President Muhammadu Buhari has called for peace on the continent as prerequisite for sustainable development. In a message to African leaders to mark the African Day 2020 commemorated by the African Union Commission in collaboration with the World Health Organization WHO, President Buhari said Africa has given the world a new hope by choosing the theme Silencing the Guns in the context of the COVID-19 for this year's Africa Day. He stressed the need for African leaders to ensure that every effort is made to ensure the success of silencing the guns on the continent, emphasizing the need to sensitize Africans about the inseparable connection between peace and development. He also urged regional economic groups, civil society organizations, and the private sector in Africa to take full ownership of the theme of this year's celebration to strengthen collaborative efforts among member countries of the African Union. Africa Day is observed annually on 25th of May to commemorate the founding of the Organization of the African Unity, OAU, the precursor of the African Union, which was created on May 25th, 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. In commemoration of the African Day celebration held on the 25th of May every year, the second edition of the UBA Africa Conversations featuring African leaders was held via Zoom with Tony Elumelu moderating.
The second edition of the UBA Africa Conversation is coming at a time that the world is grappling with the global pandemic, which poses a threat to the growth of Africa's economy in particular. At the virtual conference, African leaders are therefore quick to point out the need for multilateralism as key to fighting the global pandemic and also developing their economies as a continent.
We collectively agree that the priority for Africa must be safeguarding our youth and ensuring creation of jobs and economic opportunities even during this difficult time.
In Liberia here, we have taken some measures to ease the burden of vulnerable small businesses in the informal sector as well as big businesses. We are in the process of providing small loan assistance to petty traders and other marketers.
Participants also noted that the global pandemic is a wake-up call for Africa to invest in its most vulnerable sectors on the continent, like the health sector, water and sanitation, as well as social infrastructure.
This COVID-19 is teaching us about independence, will help us to integrate our continent better so that we trade better, invest amongst ourselves better, and promote our growth and development as a people without always looking out for others to bail us out.
Another preferred solution to help African countries survive the pandemic is the empowerment of local businesses and young people.
Still staying with the economy, stock, commodity and other markets close in observance of public holiday. For a bit of business news, here's Moplank Dakok. Hello, Moplank.
Hello, Jomai.
What's happening in the business world these days?
Yes, of course, you know, financial activities have been slow from the weekend because of the public holiday. And then businesses are still battling with the impact of the COVID-19. Which we hope will come to an end very soon. But on business news tonight, the first quarter GDP report released by the National Bureau of Statistics this Monday shows that Nigeria's gross domestic product GDP grew by 1.87% year-on-year. The performance represents a decline of 0.3% compared to first quarter 2019 and 0.68% decline compared to fourth quarter 2019. The non-oil sector grew by 1.55% in real terms in the quarter, slower by minus 0.93%. The non-oil sector was driven mainly by information and communication, finance and insurance, agriculture, mining and quarrying, and construction. The oil sector, on the other hand, recorded a real growth rate of 5.06% year-on-year in the quarter, indicating an increase of 6.51%. And economist Tefa Abraham, who spoke via Skype, explains that the drop in GDP is a reflection of the impact of COVID-19 on economic activities across the country, as well as sharp fall in oil prices and restricted international trade. He suggests some key steps to making the economy function optimally.
Gradual opening of the economy will really be important to sustain growth or to keep the economy going to some level in the 2020 second quarter. Then secondly, we have to look inwards, interpreting domestic production, domestic economic activity, looking at helping the chambers of commerce, local manufacturers, indigenous businesses, support agricultural production, smallholder farmers, and also support our own domestic manufacturing, including pharmaceuticals and medical supplies.
Well, that's it on business news. Time now to join Mohammed in our Maiduguri Network Center for more news. Hello, Mohammed.
Compliments of the season and welcome to Maiduguri. Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar has had Salah lunch with troops on the front line as morale booster to sustain airstrike operations against Boko Haram terrorists. For this year's Eid al-Fitr celebration, Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum took part in the Air Force get-together held at the 105 Composite Group in Maiduguri, the state capital. Pauline Kujevana reports.
Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar has closely related with troops on the front line to motivate them and foster comradeship for optimal performance. The immense contribution of the Nigerian Air Force through the Air Task Force Operation Lafia Dole against the insurgency in the northeast has no doubt helped shape the theater of operations as seen by the peace being enjoyed in the state.
And that effort has tremendously reduced the impact of the insurgency in the state.
Despite the challenge of COVID-19, the Air Force, through pragmatic planning and foresight, maintained the tempo of operations not only in the northeast, but other parts of the country.
The latest unit established or activated, it was the Nigerian Air Force unit in Lafia in Nasarawa State. Very soon, we are going to get the Air Force flag flying in Damaturu as well.
Your consistent presence in our midst is not only a source of motivation, but also a staunch indication of the Chief of Air Staff's commitment to the welfare and support of troops in Air Task Force Operation Lafia Dole.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, thanked government for providing required resources to discharge their duties and urged the troops to work in synergy with other security operatives or missions to achieve the desired result. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
Safeguarding lives and property of Nigerians, ensuring victory in the counter-insurgency operations and the restoration of peace in the northeast remains major objective of the Nigerian Army in the region. These were some of the issues re-emphasized by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai, while hosting troops to an Eid al-Fitr Salah luncheon at the Malare military cantonment in Maiduguri. Jadwa John Justini reports.
Since his appointment, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Yusuf Buratai has sustained the tradition of celebrating all religious festivals with troops on the front lines in the northeast. This has raised the morale and fighting spirit of troops engaged in the operations, including those wounded in action. While commending the numerous successes recorded by troops in the theater of operations, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai enjoined inductees from the recently concluded Special Forces training to use the knowledge gained to propel the armed forces to victory.
With more commitment, dedication and discipline, we shall achieve our desired end state very soon. We must not waver or be carried away by the negative propaganda in the social media.
Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum assured the Nigerian Army of more support to bring a quick end to the conflict.
We'll do everything possible within our reach to support the Nigerian military with a view to fighting the insurgents.
Theater Commander Operation Lafia Dole Major General Farouk Yahaya expressed appreciation to the Chief of Army Staff for giving the troops a sense of belonging.
Such consistent visit by the Chief of Army Staff to the Operation Lafia Dole Theater is a huge source of motivation to the personnel, a gesture that will spur them towards greater and better performance in the counter-insurgency war. In Maiduguri, Jadwa John Jason, NTA News.
Those are the reports from Maiduguri. Network News continues with Jumai in Abuja.
Thank you, Mohammed. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, commiserates with victims of the Muna al-Badawi IDP camp fire incident in Borno State, which claimed lives and property. The minister says the crisis response protocol was immediately activated and commended the National Emergency Management Agency for the swift intervention. To electoral matters now, all the guidelines issued by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 are adopted by INEC for the conduct of elections during this period. A majority of the activities are to be carried out through online. This was contained in a 10-point policy document for the conduct of Edo and Ondo State governorship elections. Mia Ogidi reports.
It is countdown to the Edo and Ondo governorship elections, and the entire political spectrum has to adjust to the realities of the moment. 10-point policy document is out from the INEC headquarters, adopting all the guidelines issued by the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and NCDC for the control of coronavirus.
In terms of political parties, the nomination processes will be done online. In terms of accreditation of the media, it will be done online. In terms of the elections itself, we are going to make sure that all our election officials, we provide them with protective equipment. But it is mandatory for any voter coming to vote in any election to wear face mask. With no face masks, no voting.
How campaigns and party primaries will be conducted without large gatherings is a national question. But in the wisdom of INEC, just as football is played in some countries without spectators, campaigns without gathering is preferable.
What we expect from them is to make sure that in organizing their campaigns and organizing their party primaries, they conform to the dictates of physical and social distancing. Political parties will still do campaigns the traditional way, but it will not be as robust as we had it previously. They are going to utilize more of the radio, utilize more of the television, utilize the newspapers, and also utilize the social media.
For the 9 outstanding by-elections, no date yet. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Time now to join Dotun in Lagos for more reports. Hello, Dotun. Barka da Sallah.
Jumai. The Nigerian army says it will continue to contribute to ensure the war against insecurity and COVID-19 is won. This was re-echoed when the Nigerian Army Ordnance Corps distributed palliatives to its immediate community in Lagos. Lynn Leneke has details.
Many residents of Empire Community in Surulere local government turned out en masse to benefit from the palliatives provided by the Nigerian Army. The palliatives were offloaded from the truck and arranged with physical social distancing protocol observed. The beneficiaries came forward in an orderly manner while accepting the palliatives under the supervision of the representative of the Corps Commander Ordnance, Major General Akintade.
I didn't even dream about it, but God just do it surprise. So I'm so happy.
To thank the government for this provision, because it's going to be useful to all households that has received it.
The gesture, the Nigerian Army says, is to cushion the economic effects of the partial lockdown.
So the chief feels that he has to identify with some of these Nigerians, and this particular community is our neighbor, and we have had excellent relationship over the years.
COVID-19 is real. You shouldn't take any risk.
The Nigerian Army expressed determination to sustain the tempo of protecting and defending the integrity of the nation and its citizens. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
Reactions have continued to trail the recent signing of Executive Order 10 by President Muhammadu Buhari, which grants financial autonomy for state legislature and judiciary. Correspondent reports that political analysts are of the view that the move will further strengthen the nation's democracy. In a swift reaction to the signing of the order, the Conference of Speakers of State Legislature in Nigeria described the approval by President Muhammadu Buhari as the best Salah gift, according to a statement by the Chairman, Conference of Speakers, and Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa. Honorable Jude Idimogu is a member of the Lagos Assembly. He, like his other colleagues, are happy with the move.
Actually, when we talk about separation of power, we should do it to the letter, in the sense that it's not just separation of power, mere talking about it. Financially, if you want it to be effective, financial autonomy is necessary.
Political analysts are also of the opinion that the move will enable each arm of government to be independent and better accountable.
People have clamored for this for so long, but the reality is that we've had about 21 years of unbroken democracy, and this has not been done off and now. The plan has persisted for so long, and so, I mean, it's a wonderful thing that the president has realized that this ought to be done.
I also pray that the willpower to sustain this particular executive order, that God should be sustained, so that we will have more vibrant governance in the state, because they are more near to the people.
According to the order, all states of the Federation shall include the allocations of the two arms of government in their appropriation laws. Failure to release such allocations, however, authorizes the deduction from source. And that's it from here. Network News continues after the break.
Let's get right into this cooking action.
I swear they read, but the jam just the jam all of us.
Now, how many of us know how to sing the national anthem? I'm sure we do. White on the Nigerian flag. Who can tell me what it stands for?
Peace and unity.
Do we have a flag man?
Yes, we do.
Taiwo Akikumi. Green, white, green, he made our flag.
Wake up, nothing can hold us down. Get up, born to wear the crown.
Breakfast your day, every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Everything is impossible until it's done. This has been our story since inception. And today, we can boast of a platform where everything is possible. And like before, we succeeded in getting your attention, didn't we? Quick Teller. Everyday payments made easy.
Awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life. Awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life.
Awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life. Awesome screen, awesome camera,
Long-lasting battery life.
awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life. Awesome screen, awesome camera.
Long-lasting battery life.
My mother-in-law and I are like 5 and 6. And our gilly game, it's copy and paste. But when it comes to our favorite milk, we're so different. My mother-in-law loves her pig-filled milk because it's low in cholesterol. And I love my pig full cream milk because it's rich and creamy. And that's why I buy both. So choose your pig today.
Pig. Reach for your pig.
Today on Happy Clean Niger Mission, we visit Mrs. Johnson live in Lagos.
Ah, Helen Paul.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To clean your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for stains in the toilet. Harpic Thick formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow, now I'm convinced, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that she's part of the mission, the next house is yours.
Remember that Nigerian water later I want marry. She dey come my house today. I'm gonna tell her to marry me.
Remember what I taught you about playing music from the internet?
I'm gonna play romantic music for her. The phone remains small, make it done. Will you marry me? I have a surprise for you. Google, play me a romantic music. Everything is okay. Network is shaky. Google, play me a romantic music. Google, play me a romantic music.
Maybe I should go.
Don't let poor internet ruin special moments. Join the super fast and reliable 4G network and get double data.
Now in the watch.
What we are really cultivating here is a better future for all Nigerian women, and it's not always easy. Panadol Extra relieves headache, backache, joint pain, toothache, and menstrual pain. The pain is worth it.
I'm on top of Africa.
Anybody for a lolly to make you jolly? This is history unfolding.
Century is Africa's.
your side as times dey tough so. We don't see your loyalty and we appreciate the journey where we don't work out together. That na why GoTV dey sama you with better upgrade to the next package as you stay connected or reconnect. We dey your side with correct entertainment. You fit save up to 75% because now we. Not to stay connected or reconnect, GoTV go upgrade you at no extra cost. Wow! Stay connected with GoTV self-service payment options. Visit GoTVAfrica.com to gather more information about this better discount and our payment options. GoTV dey your side. Enjoy GoTV Wow Awoof. GoTV. Live it. Love it.
It's good to know you're still there. President Muhammadu Buhari congratulates Alhaji AGF Abdulrazak San and his son Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, the incumbent governor of Kwara State, on the occasion of the governor's mother's 90th birthday. The mother of the governor and wife of the first lawyer in northern Nigeria, Alhaja Raliat Amope Abdulrazak, a philanthropist and founder of the Raliat Foundation, will be 90 on Tuesday, tomorrow. President Buhari commends the celebrant for bringing happiness and joy to many people within and around her community. He prayed to Allah to grant her many years of service to the family, her community and the nation. Lockdown or not, at home or school, the Nigerian child must be celebrated and empowered to attain their full potential of becoming responsible citizens. Come May 27th. This is the submission of the Minister of Women Affairs while unveiling a series of events to mark the 2020 Children's Day in a lockdown. Momso Damien Deti tells us more.
The 27th of May is just by the corner, and with the lockdown, the children may be losing hope on ever marking their special day.
The effect of coronavirus, today's effective Children's Day.
But not so for the Ministry of Women Affairs. The event must be marked even with the lockdown. So, the convergence of key players here is to unveil the theme and how children can participate online right from their homes.
Of this year's Children's Day is promoting the girl-child education for sustainable development. The team is expected to intensify sensitization and awareness creation for increased enrollment, retention, and completion rate of girls in schools at all levels. It's a day that children around the world look forward to express their feelings and to celebrate childhood. However, in whatever situation we find ourselves, we must do our best to give the child its rightful place.
To support the event and assist Nigerian women, a support group championing the fight against breast and cervical cancer donated personal protective equipment to the ministry. Momso Damien Dati, NTA News.
The governors of the Southeast Zone have agreed to engage the Nigeria Center for Disease Control on the need to scale up testing of coronavirus in the zone, as the forum directs all Igbos living outside Igbo land to obey all extant COVID-19 orders, especially the presidential directive on interstate movement. This was in a communique issued by the forum after its meeting in Enugu. Susan Eze tells us more.
In a 7-point communique presented by the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum and governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, the governors directed the people of the Southeast Zone to comply with the ban on interstate travels, the hygiene protocols and directives of their home governors and those of where they live, as the forum engages the National Center for Disease Control on the need to scale up COVID-19 testing in the Southeast. On security matters, the governors disagreed with the community policing composition formula contained in a recent communication to them from the Inspector General of Police.
The recent communication from the Inspector General of Police to our governors of Southeast on community policing composition is not in keeping with the agreement we reached with him during his last visit to the Southeast. In the circumstance, we cannot begin implementation of it until the program reflects our earlier agreement with the IGP. The Southeast governors and their leaders request the IGP to please revert to our initial agreement reached on community policy.
The forum, however, commended President Muhammadu Buhari on the progress of work at the second Niger Bridge and the Akanibiam International Airport, Enugu. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Kemi is standing by in Ibadan with more reports. Hello, Kemi.
Hi, and welcome to Ibadan. Young activists and volunteers in Kwara State are generating ideas, energy and empathy to stop coronavirus and save lives. These young people, under the auspices of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, have inaugurated a response team to help people in the state. Olukemi Soni reports.
Spread of the coronavirus has exposed the vulnerable segments of the society. Bolaji Oloni is a grassroots and community person. He is a member of the response team. He and others have been responding to the needs of his people in Afon, Ogundoroko, Laduba and Abotoja, engaging them to be aware of the risk in the spread of COVID-19.
We need to protect our people, particularly in rural area.
Jimo Abdulganiyu is a Red Cross member. He has the mandate to help people, and this led him to mobilize his fellow Red Cross to engage people to act responsibly. He has reached out to medical and development professionals in the bid to curb COVID-19 in the state.
Going to every ATM point in the town and giving out sanitizer.
Newly inaugurated response team, which comprises of voluntary, security outfits and civil society organizations, gives the confidence that young people can manifest the best in humanity. Olukemi Soni, NTA News.
The Eid al-Fitr celebration is a season Muslims look forward to after 30 days of fasting. This year is, however, a deviation from the norm due to COVID-19. Omakende Igbari in this report takes a look at essential services and the present realities during the unusual Salah holiday.
Essential workers at public offices are glad to render services during a period when others are at home to ensure holiday makers are relaxed and having a good time.
People that we are serving, when they are happy with us, by that extension, which we are happy.
And this is what we love doing. That is why you see us, doing what is expected of us. As
what we are doing here, people at home will be enjoying us. Without us, they can't enjoy the holiday.
A visit to some major recreational centers in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, during the Eid al-Fitr holiday is not business as usual, as these areas known for the usual hustle and bustle are devoid of customers compared to what it used to be before now. No thanks to COVID-19.
This COVID-19 is shutting business of people. I'm not happy.
I'm happy, but not that really as usual, because of this pandemic issue on ground.
The COVID-19 season no doubt calls for sacrifice by all and sundry, especially workers on essential duty in Ibadan. Omokende Igbari, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. More reports with Jumai after the break.
Make your home the place to be with GoTV's super cool kids channels.
That sounds fun.
From funky friends that'll keep even the little ones busy.
All right, everybody, let's do this!
To learn as you watch educational shows for curious young minds.
You can do some amazing things.
There's plenty for everyone. Tune in to our kids shows and get everything you need to keep the kids entertained and learning the fun way. GoTV, live it, love it.
The chairman, management, and the entire staff of IBA LCDA announced the demise of our father, His Royal Majesty Oba Yushau Goriola Oseni JP, the Oniba of Iba land, who joined his ancestors on Saturday, 23rd May 2020, at the age of 76, after a successful and remarkable 45 years on the throne. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Announcer, the Executive Chairman, Honorable Princess Rahmat Rachel Adedayo.
This is NTA Network News. Now to sports update with Olumide Oguntola.
Just like in other spheres of life,
This is not the best of time for volleyball players and officials due to the impact of coronavirus. This leads to the Federation's resolve to share over 1 million naira palliatives to the 18 national male and female volleyball clubs in Nigeria. The president of the Nigeria Volleyball Federation, Musa Nimrod, said the palliatives will, among other things, strengthen the ties between the Federation and state associations as well as clubs. Meanwhile, he also extended the palliatives to members of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN, Kaduna State Chapter, as members converge on Ahmadu Bello Stadium to partake in the distribution of palliatives donated by their patron. The food items donated by Nimrod and supported by the national president of SWAN, Ono Sirao, is to cushion the economic effect of the coronavirus pandemic that the sports writers are facing.
I realized that quite a lot of the journalists, 8 to 9 months, they have not received salaries, and I felt we need to assist them.
There is no household in Nigeria today that you take all these things into and they will not be happy.
Our desire is to see that nobody sleep hungry.
About 30 members of SWAN in Kaduna State benefited from the palliatives. With sports updates, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
And on the sad note, President Muhammadu Buhari commiserates with the media industry, especially Nigerian Union of Journalists and Nigeria Guild of Editors, over the passing of the Saturday editor of the New Telegraph, Wahid Bakari. The president sends condolences to the family of the deceased and management of New Telegraph newspaper, describing the editor's death as a loss to the media and the nation that he served passionately with his talent. The president prays that God receives the soul of the departed and comfort all that mourn him. And that's Network News tonight. Thanks so much for watching. I am Juma Yusuf. Good night.
On all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. All visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me